We're here with John Wood from the Green Grocer in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Hi, John. Thanks for taking the time and stepping out of your business for a minute to talk with us. Appreciate it. As I explained to you, I'm going to ask you some questions. You feel free to answer or not answer in any way that you like.
Sure.
So, how old are you?
I am 39.
I have to think about it too.
Yeah.
And your job titles here in the community?
Well, I am owner of the Green Grocer and founding member of Local Independence Link of Newport County.
Great.
And that's also proud father and adoring husband and proud member of the community.
Okay. And how about political orientation? Do you have one of those?
Registered independent.
Okay. How about religion or religious affiliation?
Staunch Roman Catholic.
And can you talk about your relationship with the local independent community here?
Well, the relationship for me started years ago when I was managing a business in Newport and came to really find a strong community base that existed here. It was at that point that my wife and I decided that we wanted to be a part of this community long term, and it was one of the reasons that we decided to set out and open a business that would be able to contribute ongoing to the community, providing an outlet for answers, resources, especially in our business, which is natural and organic foods, alternative health options. So those things were certainly big motivators for us, and giving that to the community is something that we enjoy doing every day.
And this is a special week for you.
It is 2 years as of Sunday for us being open. So the first 2 years are under our belt. We've still got at least 3 more to go before it gets any easier. But
well, congratulations. It's no small feat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I told you I wasn't going to tell you this one ahead of time because it's fun. If the local independent community in Newport were an animal, or in Newport County were an animal, what animal would it be and why?
That's a tough one. I'd have to say right off the top of my head it would be an armadillo, because a lot of times it tends to curl up within itself. People in Newport don't like to leave the island very often, but at the same time they can tend to forget about the things around them almost to a negative point. I think that people are longing for answers. They're longing for solutions to the questions that they have, and in that, we get bombarded every day with, use reusable bags instead of plastic. Go ahead and make sure you turn your lights out. We constantly have all of these messages sent to us, and people want a simple solution to it, and they know what the answer is. They really do inside. They just kind of need that simple method in which to get to the final outcome. So the local independents in Newport County, business-wise, are looking for an opportunity to get together and strengthen their own businesses. And then the consumers in the area who are passionate about their sense of community also are looking for that too. So
great. Can you talk about a time when you, as a business or as an individual, needed support and the local independent community was there for you, if there ever has been one?
All the time. All the time. The first big one that will jump to mind was 2 years ago before we opened. We didn't have the money to pay the mortgage that month before we even opened our doors. Couldn't open the doors to start generating revenue to pay for our mortgage. So we put a call out for people to come and basically sort of buy gift certificates ahead of time. And we managed to raise about $15,000 in about 2 weeks. And that really just kind of, that sent a huge message to us that we were doing the right thing in the right community. And then almost on an ongoing basis, there are a lot of local independent business owners who will reach out and they'll provide help to each other. They're very encouraging in ways that, when you're a new business owner, they're willing to provide you with that message of hang in there, it's going to be okay. We've all been through it, kind of thing.
Great. I forgot to mention that I was going to ask you this, but you'll be okay with it. What got you interested in forming a network and community of businesses?
It makes me sad to see a lot of empty small shops downtown Newport. It makes me sad to see the rise of so many big chain box stores on a community where they didn't exist just 10 years ago. And to see so many independent businesses struggling to get their message out. And then my own personal experience with shopping at big box stores. Never really being completely satisfied with the purchases I make. The service was never really what I had hoped it would be. The price may have been okay, but it was never really anything that made me jump back and say, wow. And then the quality of the product, honestly, over 90% of the time, left me wondering why I would ever go back. So, all of those experiences, and then seeing the sort of rapid deterioration recently of big chains and the way that they shift with the economy, made me realize that there needs to be kind of a grassroots movement back to the community, so that it's a sustainable, a long-term living solution that will be here long after chains have closed up and no longer exist.
So just a couple more. From your experiences in life as an entrepreneur and an organizer of community, what one lesson or piece of advice could you offer anyone who might see this?
Advice for entrepreneurs?
It could be advice for anyone you think needs it the most, I guess.
I'd have to say it's never easy, but hope is definitely the most powerful tool you'll ever have in your toolbox. You can have the best laid plans, you can have the greatest education, you can have bottomless resources, but without hope, I don't think that there's a way to ultimately succeed. And spending each day reinventing yourself and your business is crucial if you're going to succeed, and I can't see doing that without hope. So,
just to follow up on that, we had a conversation before we sat down on the step here about what October and November were like for you.
Yeah.
And I shared some stories with you about what I saw on the road. Did it help?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Last question.
Yep.
So you have an understanding of what project we're working on here and what we're trying to do. What one message could you say or would you want to share with anyone who might see this? And this one I'm going to ask you to look at the camera.
Okay. Most of my customers don't realize, and actually a good handful of them really do, what the decisions they make every day with their purchasing decisions make, but the outcome of every dollar that you spend and every purchase that you make makes a long-term impact on not only the way our current society forms and runs, but the way that future generations are going to experience their own societies that they live in. Make responsible choices when you're making purchases, and that's really kind of what it comes down to on the bottom line. Just think before you spend.